Hey, folks, I'm Big Sam, and I've done it the wrong way for a long, long time. Welcome to the Big Sam Podcast, where we talk about leadership, life, faith, and everyday decisions that help us move the needle. Today, I want to talk about something that sounds incredibly simple, and it kind of goes hand in hand with last week's episode. But if every one of us lived this out in our homes, our workplaces, our churches, our communities, they would look completely different. Today's episode is Leave It Better Than You Found It. And that does go along. It goes along with problem solving, but on a much smaller scale. Just doing the little thing. We're going to talk about doing the little things that leave wherever you are, that you're able to leave that space, that time, that person better than you found it. Most people think changing the world requires doing something huge, starting a company, inventing something revolutionary, making millions of dollars, writing a best-selling book, standing on a stage in front of thousands of people. Those things are wonderful. Most of us won't do that. We won't change the world, but we can change our world. We can change the world one person at a time, one conversation at a time, one decision at a time, one small act of kindness at a time. I've learned something over the years. Life is simply a series of opportunities to leave things better than they were before we arrived. Maybe a person, maybe a workplace, maybe a church, maybe your own family. The question isn't whether you'll leave a mark. The question is, what kind of mark will you leave? You're going to leave a mark. I had a guy tell me one time that, no, we don't ever, we don't leave impacts on this world. He's wrong. That guy left a negative impact on me. We leave an impact. Just again, you're going to decide, is it going to be positive or negative? One of the things I've noticed in my career in manufacturing is that there are two kinds of employees. First kind of employee simply does their job. They clock in, do what they're told, clock out. If something's broken, they step over it. If there's trash on the floor, that's somebody else's problem. Cleaning guy will get it. If they discover a better way to do things, they'll just keep it to themselves. Their goal is to make it through the day. Then there's another kind of employee. These people just can't help themselves. They improve work instructions. They organize tools. They teach the new guy. They solve problems before anyone asks. They leave notes for the next shift. When they see something unsafe, they fix it. When they leave for another job someday, everybody notices. Why? Because they didn't just occupy a position. The company's better because they were there. They're that person that you go, man, I miss them. That's leadership. Even though they might not have had a title, they were leaders. Here's the interesting part. You don't need a title to do that. You just need the right attitude. I've noticed that this principle has nothing to do with manufacturing. Think about restaurants. Have you ever seen someone leave their table looking like a tornado came through? Napkins everywhere, food on the floor, trash left behind. Then there's another table where they stack the plates, they wipe up the spill, make it easier for the server. One person says, someone's getting paid to clean this up. The other person says, I can make someone else's job a little bit easier. Same restaurant, two different mindsets. Heard it said in manufacturing and in life, our job is to make the next guy's job easier. With the restaurant illustration, our job, and maybe it's not our job, but it is, it's our calling. Make the server's job a little bit easier. Yeah, they're getting paid. Yeah, maybe you're tipping them pretty good, but make it easier. Make it, that'll make their day. Same thing happens in our homes. It's easy to walk past the dishes, ignore the laundry, leave things for somebody else. But families become stronger when everyone asks one simple question: how can I leave this house a little better than I found it? Maybe it's washing dishes without being asked. Maybe it's taking out the trash. Maybe it's writing your spouse a note or sending them a video. Maybe it's calling your parents if you still can. That'll Bear Bryant, call you mama. I sure wish I could call mine. Call you daddy. I sure wish I could call mine. Maybe it's sitting down and truly listening to your kids instead of looking at your phone. Little things, big difference. The housekeeping thing, because of Amy's illness, I've done a little bit more of the housework lately, and it's made me kind of think, hey, when she gets back to where she can do things, I'll probably still help her a little bit. So let's talk about something even more important: people. Every day we cross paths with people carrying burdens we know nothing about. Heard it said that If you approach everybody like they're carrying a burden, you're probably right. Every single day we cross paths with people carrying burdens we know nothing about. Someone just lost a parent. Someone is scared after hearing difficult news from the doctor. Someone's worried about paying bills. Someone's marriage is struggling. Someone feels completely alone. We don't always know what they're carrying, but we do control what we add to their load. Do we make it heavier or lighter? Every conversation is an opportunity. When people walk away from talking with us, are they encouraged? Are they exhausted? And I've had people come up to me and through this and through some other times in life, through some seasons of life, and I was having a bad day and they made it worse. I've had people that come up and I've been having a bad day and they've made it better. You know who those people are, and you appreciate it when they do. Do they feel valued, criticized? Do they leave with hope or discouragement? I've spent enough years doing this wrong, and I have, to know sometimes people don't need advice. They simply need someone who cares enough to listen. Leaving people better isn't always about fixing their problems. It's just reminding them that they don't have to carry their load alone. One of my favorite questions is this: if everybody behaved like I do, what would this place become? Whatever that place is, whether it's work, church, family, etc. If everyone worked like me, would this company improve? If everyone loved their spouse like I love mine, would all marriages get better? If everyone treated strangers the way I do, would our community be kinder? If everyone served at church the way I serve, would the church grow stronger? And there's seasons for that. In serving, right now we're in a season where we're not able to serve that much. But when we can, we do the best we can. So as Christians, the greatest example is Jesus, of course. And that's the answer most of the time. Jesus never left people the same. He healed, he forgave, he taught, he encouraged, he challenged, he restored. Whether he fed 5,000 people, and hey, sometimes that deal is feeding somebody. That's how you can encourage them. That's how you can make them better. That's how you can leave them better than you did. And, you know, Amy and I have done it a few times, more than a few times, where we're getting ready to leave a restaurant, especially if we see somebody in uniform, police, fire, military, whatever it is. Go ahead and pick their check up. It's not going to cost that much, and it'll make their day. So I love to push my wife's buttons, but I was on my way to an event in Huntsville, and I stopped to get some lunch, and there were two. They were military, and I think they were Air Force, but they were younger ladies, younger females, and they were 19, 20, something like that. And I picked their check up, paid for it, went on, slipped out, didn't know. The only person that knew was me and the cashier and the server, and I guess y'all now. But so I got in the truck, started toward my event. I called Amy and was like, "Hey, just bought dinner for two young ladies," and she kind of bristled up a little bit till I told her what it was. But anyway, I squirrel. Jesus. He didn't simply pass through people's lives. He transformed them. That's our calling too. Not because we're trying to earn God's love, but we've already received it. Back to Amy. Another great example is how she treats people. She has no idea the impact she has on people with just a smile. I can walking into church with her, walking anywhere with her, and people see her, and she gives them a smile, and instant they change for the better. She'll drop somebody a kind word. She leaves everyone she meets better than they were. And a great example, and I think I shared this with y'all before. We were at Walmart, and we were about to back out of our parking space. And she goes, "Hey, you see that girl?" What? And the car right in front of us. And it took me a second. There was someone in the front seat that was hunched over and was sobbing. You could see them sobbing so hard they were shaking. And I looked over at Amy, because I'm thinking, what are we going to do about this? I looked at Amy and the expression on her face, and I pulled back up in the parking space, put it in park, and she was already opening her door. And I watched my sweet wife walk up, total stranger, knock on the door, knock on the window, roll it down, ask if she's okay, and they're having a conversation. Amy's praying for her. Lady gets out, gives her a hug, and it was a younger girl that had miscarried that week, and her husband was in the store, picking up some stuff, and she was having a breakdown, and Amy was able to walk through that little bit with her. Now uh, we've never seen her again after that, but you could just look on her face as we were backing out that my sweet wife made an impact on that lady. Uh, it's and moments like that, I've never been more proud of another human being. Uh, One verse that captures this beautifully is Colossians 3:23. Whatever you do, do it heartily, as to the Lord, not to men. Notice it doesn't say whatever whatever important thing you do. It says whatever you do. It means your job matters, day in, day out. Your conversation matters, your marriage matters, your work, your volunteer work matters, your parenting matters. Even the little things nobody notices matter, but God notices. Move the needle. Um, Another great example of this, my old friend John Picklesheimer. John and I worked together. We worked around each other for a few years. The company he worked for supplied to the company that I worked for, and I ended up going to work for them. And I was young in my career and was just struggling to find out if I was making an impact at that company. And this was on a Friday, and I was a little bit down. And John said, "Hey, is this place better right now than it was when you walked in Monday morning?" I thought, "Yeah, yeah, I think it is." He said, "Good. Then you've had a good week." And I ask myself that every Friday afternoon when I walk out. Is wherever it is I am, the company I'm with now, is this place better now than it was when I walked in on Monday because of something I've done or some things that I've done? And if the answer is yes, hey, that's a good week. You can ask yourself that every day. You can ask yourself that in every situation. Am I making an impact? Is it better now than it was when I walked in? If the answer is yes, then that's a good day. Leaving things better often costs something. Costs time, patience, humility, sometimes costs money. Uh, Sometimes it means letting somebody else get the credit. Sometimes it means doing work that nobody will ever know you did. That's okay. The best leaders aren't chasing applause. They're building something that lasts. Many of you know, Amy and I have been walking through one of the hardest seasons of our lives. Cancer has a way of changing your perspective. You stop worrying quite so much about things that don't really matter. You begin to treasure conversations. You begin to appreciate people who just show up, and we've had a lot of them do that for us lately. Meals delivered, prayers offered, texts, friends just come by. Folks have cut my grass. People send a text that says, "Hey, I'm praying for you." And we see people at church, and we've been able to go to church a few times. "Hey, I'm praying for you." The ladies in the beauty shop where Amy goes, "Hey, praying for you." It's incredible. Um, those people may not think they did much, but they left us better than they found us. Something we'll never forget. That's a legacy. When people gather for your funeral someday, they probably won't spend much time talking about your paycheck. They won't care what kind of phone you owned. They won't care how many followers you had online. They'll remember how you made people feel. They'll remember your generosity, your kindness, your faithfulness, your integrity. They'll remember whether people were better because you were part of their lives. That's legacy worth pursuing. So here's the challenge for y'all this week. Every morning before you hit the floor, ask God one simple question. Lord, help me leave every person, every place, every situation better today. Encourage someone, solve a problem, clean up a mess, teach someone what you know, forgive someone, thank someone, pray with someone. Leave every room with more peace than you entered it. What if everybody did that? Leave the room with more peace than was there when you entered it. Here's what I've discovered. You don't have to change the whole world today. You only have to improve the little piece of it that God puts in front of you. You don't have to change the whole world. You just have to change your world. Do that today. Do it for years. One day you'll look back and realize something incredible. You didn't just leave things better than you found them. You left a legacy that points people toward Jesus. That's a life that truly moved the needle. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me today. And again, thanks for tuning in week after week. It means more to me than you'll ever know. When I look and see the number of people that are watching these videos, it's truly humbling. So if this episode encouraged you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Share it on your socials. It's real simple. If you'll hit that share button, send it out on your Facebook page or whatever social you're watching this on, YouTube, whatever it is. If you'll share that out, somebody else that needs to hear this or see this will hear it or see it. And that'll help us move it along. So until next time, keep growing, keep serving, keep moving the needle, and wherever life takes you, leave it better than you found it. I'll see you next time.